This issue now. Joining me at the moment is Mr. Jayant Ghoshal. He's a senior journalist. Thank you, Mr. Ghoshal, very much for joining us this evening on Doordarshan News. Let's begin discussing this issue, Mr. Ghoshal, and I want to take your opening comments at the start of the discussion. How are you looking at this entire issue? The Aam Aadmi Party hurling allegations, baseless allegations, without any evidence against the finance minister. The finance minister today spoke in Parliament. He said he's ready to answer all the queries, all the questions that one may have. He's even ready and open for a debate and a discussion. The issue has now reached the courts. Defamation cases have been filed against those hurling accusations and allegations. How are you looking at this entire matter?
The first thing, this is not issue of corruption. This is issue of politics. This is politics and not the issue of corruption. You see, when Delhi government raised the issue, when the role of chief secretary under scan of the Delhi government, and the contextual reference was that. So that means it's a strategy to malign not only Mr. Arun Jaitley, the government of India. This is an issue of cricket politics. This is not the issue of BJP. This is not the issue of the governments and the Narendra Modi's governance. It's a completely isolated, alienated issue from the governance and the parliament. Rajya Sabha, you don't have any Aam Aadmi Party, you don't have any representative, but Congress is also thinking that if Congress can get something out of it, although Congress relationship with Mr. Kejriwal everybody knows, but Congress is trying to explore that because Mr. Arun Jaitley is a transparently honest person, popular perception, everybody knows. And you know, in our country, and not only in our country, I think it's a global phenomenon, that you know the perception, public perception, because it's a long career of Arun, and you know this perception is very important. And in this issue, there is no evidence, and you have already taken the decision of commission. Whether this formation of the commission is constitutional or not, I'm not going into that debate. But when I'm welcoming any sort of inquiry, but when you have given order for inquiry, why you are shouting? Why you are maligning a person naming Arun Jaitley inside parliament, outside parliament,
right,
when he doesn't have any investment, any company stake in this cricket business?
Right.
So I think this is not actually cricket. This is it's a part of the Aam Aadmi Party's politics, and to malign personally Arun Jaitley and malign the government, because you know it is very easy in our country to actually hit and the issue create a stigma.
Are you saying, Mr. Ghoshal, that the issue is not, there's no head and tail of the issue, there's no substance actually in the issue, and the issue is just being created, manufactured only for the sake of attacking and only for the sake of politicizing in the name of corruption? And when the Delhi government has formed a commission, they should wait for its report to come, before actually coming out, jumping the gun and hurling accusations, baseless allegations against a minister.
And when in UPA regime, the same subject,
the SFIO probe did not find any fault with it.
And that papers, what actually few people are circulating, that is also very old papers. And on the basis of those papers, you tried to malign Mr. Jaitley earlier also. In UPA time, there was investigation and nothing, found in those inquiry, and again you are reviving the case, and you see what is the contextual reference, that what is the timing, why today? Because Mr. Kejriwal has become chief minister, how many days, so why today suddenly Delhi government has become aware?
So reading between the lines, what are you reading between the lines, Mr. Ghoshal?
Exactly.
What are you reading between the lines?
No, the thing is that crude politics. This is not at all democracy. I will call it mobocracy. This is not democracy. It is very easy to malign a person without any evidence. I make a lot of allegations against a lot of people. But I am I am trying to say only one thing, that I am not asking about the merit and demerit of the case. I am just only one thing I want to say, that when you already ordered for a commission, why tomorrow you are going to hold assembly on this issue? That means there is a design, there is a method in the madness. And this method, actually, you know, this today, BJP, they are trying to divide BJP. They are trying to malign Arun Jaitley. So actually using this cricket politics, what is actually completely isolated from BJP politics, they are trying to get some dividend out of it. But just now I have seen your Doordarshan that party president also clarified party position. And all the cabinet ministers were, they were with Arun Jaitley.
To the court.
Yeah. So I think so far Delhi government's politics is concerned, I think now Arun Jaitley, after this Patiala court case, because this is defamation case, because they have taken Arun Jaitley's name. So if Arun Jaitley takes somebody's name and if he makes some huge allegation, is it trustworthy? So actually you have to substantiate your allegation first.
Right. It needs to be backed by evidence. It needs to be backed by evidence, is what you're saying. Right.
You don't have any evidence, you are giving order for inquiry, you are not waiting for the conclusion, and you are actually shouting. So it is part of this Sarak politics.
Right. Well, that's about the politics, and the government has outrightly rejected any calls for resignation. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad also said today that the transparency and credibility, with which he's lived his public life all these years, and his commitment to probity is well too known. Talking about the cricketers as well, in this issue, present cricketers have come out in strong support of the finance minister. In fact, they have said that Mr. Jaitley always wanted to improve the game and have always, he's always helped cricketers in every way possible. So cricketers also coming out in backing the finance minister in this issue.
Actually, they were the witness of the development projects. What Arun did when he was in charge of this Delhi cricket organization. But one thing, he resigned also. He is today, he is not in charge of Delhi Cricket Association.
Absolutely.
So when he resigned, he doesn't have any stake. You are trying to dig the past historical archaeological issue. Why? That means when he is not in chair, when he left this organization, and actually it's a derivative of cricket politics, because it was, everybody knows that Mr. Srinivasan versus others, that cricket politics, it was there, and Arun Jaitley resigned from that exactly in that milieu. He thought that it is not the right time and the right place, so he resigned, and he doesn't have any vested interest in that organization. He doesn't have any personal attachment, and he was mentor, now he is not mentor also. So how this issue you are raising against Arun Jaitley, and you are taking the name of Arun Jaitley, and you talk about good politics, you talk about the politics of values.
But
is it a politics of
Mr.
values?
Ghoshal, vested interest and politics, keeping these things aside, now cricketers coming out in support of the finance minister, that's like you said, they are the first witnesses in this issue. They coming out and supporting Mr. Jaitley. Now that's going to go a long way in this issue, because they are the ones, like you said, they are the witnesses. So that's going to matter a lot.
Actually, they saw what he did for the stadiums, and
True.
When Chief Minister Delhi, you have ordered for the commission. That time you can raise lot of issues in Parliament. Just few days are now, I think 2 or 3 days are just more for Parliament session.
Yes.
It is going
It's
to
ending
end
on the 23rd. Yes.
So there are important bills. If you want to criticize Arun Jaitley, you can criticize on price rise, inflation. You can raise lot of issues on GST to several other issues. Fair enough. It's a role of opposition. I respect that role of opposition.
But a responsible opposition.
But responsible opposition. What you are raising, that doesn't have any evidence. And that irregularity is what you have mentioned. Arun Jaitley is not at all attached with those irregularities, and it is proven in the UPA regime. Again, you are actually
digging out the old issue,
reissuing the old thing. Why?
All right.
That means politics.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Ghoshal, very much for joining us this evening and sharing your perspective with us here on Doordarshan News. Thanks very much.